Welcome to my audience. This is the Thursday Executive Brief. 5 minutes, 1 leadership challenge, 3 executive moves, 1 action for the week. No theory, no fluff, just execution. So let's get to it. Hello to all you leaders and executives out there. Welcome back on the Executive 5 and let's get right into it. AI is not your advantage, judgment is. That's our episode for today, so welcome back. Right now, a lot of executives are asking the wrong question. They are asking, what can AI do? That is not the question that separates serious leaders from curious ones. The real question is, where does AI belong in this business? Where does it not belong? And what has to change in the way we lead if we want it to create value instead of noise? Because AI on its own is not a strategy. It's not a shortcut to relevance. It's not a substitute for executive judgment. In fact, in the hands of weak leadership, AI does not create clarity. It multiplies confusion at speed. So what's the challenge here? This is the trap. Senior leaders see the pressure, the headline, the demos, the competitor announcements, and they feel they need an AI story. So the business starts experimenting. Tools appear, pilots get launched, teams are told to use AI more. Suddenly, there is movement everywhere, but very little of it is tied to a hard business outcome. And that is where executives start mistaking adoption for advantage. Because AI does not reward curiosity on its own. It rewards precision. It rewards leaders who know exactly where friction lives in the business, where decision quality is weak, where manual drag is too high, where customer experience breaks down, and where human time is being wasted on work that should no longer be done by humans at all. If leadership is vague, AI becomes expensive theater. The organization looks modern, the language sounds progressive, but underneath it, people are still working in the same workflows, with the same bottlenecks, the same unclear ownership, and the same slow decisions. Only now they have another tool in the mix. That is why this is not mainly a technology problem. It is a leadership discipline problem. So what do we as leaders do about this? Let me give you 3 moves. Number 1, start with friction, not fascination. Do not start with a tool, start with the pain. Where is the business losing time, quality, speed, or judgment? Where is work repetitive, overloaded, inconsistent, or too dependent on human efforts that adds no real value? That is where the conversation begins. If you start with fascination, you will chase features. If you start with friction, you will find value. Move number 2, redesign the workflow, not just the task. There's where many executives go soft. They use AI to make one task faster, but they leave the surrounding workflow untouched. The drafting is quicker, but approvals are still slow. The analysis is faster, but decisions are still delayed. The content is generated, but nobody changed the operating model around it. That is not transformation, that is decoration. Real value shows up when leaders redesign how work actually moves. Move number 3, own governance at the top. You cannot delegate AI judgment downward and hope risk stays contained. Executive leadership has to decide where AI is acceptable, where human review is mandatory, what quality looks like, what risk is tolerable, and who is accountable when the output is wrong. If leadership does not own the boundaries, the business will create them informally. And informal AI governance is just another way of saying avoidable trouble later. So what's your weekly challenge? This week, choose one business workflow, not one tool, one workflow. Then I would like you to ask 4 questions. Where's the friction? What part could AI genuinely improve? What must be redesigned around it? And who owns the risk if it goes wrong? That is where real executive leadership begins. Because AI will not save a vague business, but it will absolutely expose one. And remember this, AI will not replace leadership, but it will expose where leadership was already weak. The real advantage is not having the tool first. It is knowing where the tool belongs. Executives who chase hype will create motion. Executives who apply judgment will create value. The question is no longer whether AI is coming into the business, it is whether leadership is ready when it does. In the end, the smartest company will not be the one using the most AI, but the one thinking the best. Have a fantastic week, and I see you next week Thursday on the Executive 5. And that was it for today. Remember, precision beats intensity every time. Execute the move, run the challenge. And I'll see you next Thursday for the next executive brief.